All right, folks, welcome back to BEG Wrestling, baby. We are here. We got the Wizard in the house, Cornell Kevin, Austin already in the comments, folks. We got a lot of catching up to do. We got an absolutely loaded show tonight with Kevin, and you actually have the opportunity to call in yourself, folks, live. The link is in the comments. If you don't feel like calling in, join the comments. We'll put them in the show as well. Shout out to Austin, but we got a lot to cover here tonight with Kevin. We're going to start tonight with the World Championships breakdown, and then we're also going to be revealing the Collegiate Duels pools, right, Kevin? Is that right? We're going to be revealing the pools. I don't believe any other show has done that.
First ones.
Yeah.
Nope, they're not even out yet.
Hot dog, back in a big way. We're going to be talking about, Kevin made up a nice little graphic for some Wrestleback Warriors. Kevin, you want to touch on maybe some of the transfer portal, NIL explanations? Kevin's been grinding, folks, absolutely grinding. And then finally, to close the show out, folks, I'll give you a quick explanation on where the heck BEG has been for the past couple weeks or month. But we got a lot of wrestling. We're a mere hours away, Kevin, from the start of this in Zagreb.
Woo!
And, hey, man, I'm fired up. You're fired up. How you been, Kevin?
Good, man. Set the alarm clocks tonight, right? 4:30 Eastern time.
That's right. We got some
nice little 4 a.m.
Yeah, nice little get to bed early tonight, folks. Put your kids to bed early. But, yeah, set your alarm clocks. We got some incredible wrestling happening then over this weekend. Kevin's here to break it down for us. And, Kevin, before we really get into the individual brackets, we got the individual brackets. We're going to put them up. Kevin I said he's been grinding, folks. Check it out. Kevin, why don't you talk a little bit about some of the resumes of some of these wrestlers in these worlds?
Yeah, absolutely. Up there on the screen, you see we got the World and Olympic champions that are going to be at the World Championships this weekend, starting late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Only 4 Olympic gold medalists returning. Sadulayev would have been the 5th, but he's a no-go. Can't get the visa. So, we got 2 of the Olympic champions at 97. So if Sadulayev would have been able to go, we would have had 3 Olympic champions, the last 3 Olympic champions at 97 kilograms. So instead, we just got 2. And then you got from Russia, who he hasn't won a medal since 2020, but he's a 2-time world champ, Olympic champ. And then the big surprise, Kyuka from Japan won the Olympics last year, beating Amazad from Iran in the finals. So those are your 4 Olympic champs. And as you can see, we got a lot of world champions that are going to be here this weekend. We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 12 returning world champs. So, and that's not including any of the age levels either, the U23s or U20s. These are just senior level. So, I know there's a few guys out, but still, this is going to be an awesome world championship, setting up for a lot of parity, the way the brackets are set up, whether you like them or you don't like them. That's another topic, but I'm ready to watch some wrestling, man.
Yeah, we got great wrestling starting in a couple hours, folks. Let's get right into it. Again, join the comments, become part of the show, and let's take a look at the 57-kilogram bracket. It's a little tough to see, but I did my best here, and you will notice in every bracket I do have the American highlighted in red for you to see. But as you can see, starting off here, 57 kilograms, Spencer Lee, baby. He's the face of American wrestling. Kevin, tell us about this bracket.
Yeah, Spencer Lee is maybe one of the biggest favorites there is in the entire World Championships. He could be the biggest favorite. The thing is he's not gonna have like a lot of warm up to do, like warm up rounds. He's gonna pretty much be, he's gonna be in the quarterfinals, first round. Let's see here. He's gonna have one match, and he's gonna have a quarterfinal match. And either guy he gets in the quarterfinals is likely going to be a world bronze medalist. And then in the semifinals, a really good chance of facing Bravo Young, which is interesting. And you know what I was thinking, Zach? Do you remember how badly we longed for that match when they were both in college?
Oh,
we wanted so badly. Spencer Lee, please move up, wrestle RBY in the duel. Remember, we were just dying for that. And it's funny because now it's just like the interest it's there, but not like it used to be. And it makes me wonder if RBY would have beaten Vito that last match of his, if that perspective of this would have changed, if people
absolutely.
would have been like, because that's got to be the only reason that it's not as much as it was, But I'll tell you what, RBY, he's got his weight under control, and he's really been improving a lot. They had a 6-3 match last time they faced. Spencer jumped out early, kind of like he did with Lilladal, kind of put it on cruise control from them thereafter. But I don't see Spencer Lee having a difficult time at all. I honestly think that he'll tack his way to the semifinals. He's going to really be using that parterre of his in the quarterfinals, and then I see him, getting by RBY without much issue. But the bottom half, he's got, I think that you got to watch out for North Korea. We know so little about them, and they do have some good wrestlers, and that country's on lockdown, so we're not getting any information out of them. Nothing. But you also have Cruz, a Lehigh alumni, Darian Cruz down there. People forget he got 5th at the Olympics, which is crazy to think about. So that. Darian Cruz, 5th at the Olympics, and he had a heck of a tournament. And a lot of this has to do with draws, as you'll see, but it's not the one of the big bad 57 kilogram weight classes that we're used to by any means. I would be shocked if Spencer Lee didn't win this bracket. I just don't see him having any problem. I think maybe Russia or Japan in the finals he gets, but his parterre is going to be the difference for sure. He's the one American that we can really count on for parterre.
Yeah. No, and you see RBY there representing Mexico, who would line up with Spencer there, in the semifinals. To me, that's the most intriguing matchup of this bracket. But let's all hope and root for Spencer to dominate. But that's it, 57, folks. Let's move on to the 61 kilogram bracket here, and this one could be fun. I have no idea what to expect here. Jax Forrest, you see him there highlighted in red. Kevin, tell us a little bit about it.
This is going to be a really tough. We knew it was going to be tough for Jax. He's going to have a world champion. Pretty much not world champion caliber. Second round, probably many people picking to win the whole thing. He isn't a world champion yet. I misspoke there, but this guy Suda, Ono said to the Flow guys that Suda was as good as him. Now, I don't see that being the case, but I have watched this guy wrestle, and he's got that very, very quick, lightweight Japan style. And I mean, if you're in the first 4 weight classes, no matter who you get from Japan these days, they're going to be top notch. They're really loaded. They have a lot of depth at those weights. But the one good thing I like about it is the way you got to look at these brackets is if you are matched up with a guy that you're not going to beat, you want to be matched up with the guy, right? Because you want to get pulled back in. So even if Forrest were to fall to Suda, I'm confident that the winner, and people might think I'm crazy, but I'm confident that the winner of Suda and Forrest will make it to the finals. I just don't.
Wow.
Yuguev, I don't know, man. He has not won a gold since 2020, and I saw Vito just manhandle him at Worlds last year with a dislocated finger, screwed up back. I mean, he beat him like 9-3, and he's small for the weight, and he has no idea what he'd be getting into with Jax. Jax is so unorthodox. I like that matchup with him. So I think that honestly, that second round match with Suda and Forrest could be the semifinal. I know it's only the second round, but I think the winner of that is gonna go. As long as Jax doesn't get intimidated by the name, He talked about when he was a little kid, he was watching Ugov beat Gilman, in the Olympics. And as long as he just knows how good he is, which I believe he does, I like his chances. And I've been saying all along, I like him to at least get a bronze. So
Wow.
Have you seen Suda wrestle at all? He's
no,
he's good, man.
Not off the top of my head, but I'll say this, man. It's going to be fun to watch Jax Forrest, and if there's a kid with the mentality that you got to love going into this, I would say it is Jax. I'm not worried about him fearing anyone at all. I mean, that kid, you saw him running back after beating Vito. He's out there having fun, man.
Yeah.
Jax Forrest
Yeah.
right now, and here's the interesting thing about wrestling, is this possibly the best Jax Forrest will ever get? I mean, how much better can he get? You know what I mean? Injuries can only maybe deter him going forward, but hey, Jax Forrest is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Kevin, you're keying in on that second round matchup, that if he can get past that, has the potential to do some great things here in these championships. So, all right.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Absolutely.
That could be fun. Let's take a look at the 65 kilogram. And this is a lot of wrestlers in this, so this one's a little hard to see. But if you look at the very top there is Real Woods, the American represented. So, Kevin, tell us a little bit about this bracket.
So, Real Woods he's their half of the bracket. It's funny. Every year at 65 kilograms, one half of the bracket is absolutely loaded, and the other half, not so much. Now, he's in the half that is not so much. However, he has Amuzad from Iran, second round. Now, he's wrestled Amuzad, and he stuck with him for the first half of the match, wrestled him earlier in the year. But then he got blown away the second half. Amuzad is, I believe, the most talented pure wrestler in this weight class, one of the best in any of the weight classes. How he blew through everybody last year. He blew through Zayn at the Olympics, and then he blew through Musakayev. He just destroyed 10-0. And I don't know how he lost to Kyuka. I don't know if it was a weight thing or what, but I'm telling you, it was a freak thing. He's my pick to win this bracket for sure, as long as his weight isn't too bad. He's the biggest 65 kilogram guy you'll ever see. Real Woods, I'm confident in him, but I just can't get it out of my head that he was 2 seconds away from having Aiden Valencia beat him and him not even being in Final X. It's just amazing how that works. I mean, kudos to him. He got the job done. A win's a win. But
yeah.
Now, the thing is with him, though, just like many of our guys you'll see, is say he loses to Amuzad. Amuzad's going to the finals. There's no doubt about that. The winner of this match is going to the finals. So if he loses, he's going to get pulled back in. And looking at the guys on this half, I don't see anybody that he can't beat. So honestly, I originally predicted him not to medal, but I'm thinking I'm leaning towards a bronze medal now, just looking at his path.
Wow. No, that's interesting. Matchups mean a lot. And, I mean, if you could manage to get through him, that would be incredible. And you're saying maybe an easy path to the finals. But another
absolutely. But there is.
Go
ahead. The thing is though, is I wish I knew. I mean, we saw Austin Gomez at RAF, right? Now you can't go by that. He wrestled a guy that hadn't wrestled in a decade and a half. Of course he looked good. He better look good. At the same time, he teched Musakayev at that ranking series tournament not too long ago. And I know Musakayev he's a roller coaster, man. This isn't the world champion caliber Musakayev we're used to seeing, but still, that result shocked me. The thing is, he got injured at the match after that too, and he has these injury issues, right, where he starts yelling like he did it against Nick Lee in the Pan Ams. He did it, in his NCAA's junior year. It's almost like we don't know exactly what the injuries are, but he has them. If he can just avoid those, man, I think this is the best Austin Gomez we have ever seen. And he is a threat because he's wild. I don't like the way he matches up against Amuzad, though. I think Amuzad's just too big, too long, and he's going to overpower him, and Gomez won't have much of a chance. But That's going to be a tough match for Woods, you know, if
Yeah. But a lot of opportunity there for real Woods, as you mentioned earlier. So this would be interesting, maybe a tougher bracket weight class for America overall, but
yeah, yeah. I
still some
mean,
opportunity.
at the bottom half of the bracket, Musakayev moved up to 70, Ochir moved up to 70. Kyuka, the defending Olympic champ, he's on the bottom half of the bracket. Sebastian Rivera, that's another good name. I mean, and I got to say this publicly. I harped on Sebastian Rivera for a long time about the paths that he had, right? Because what he did, and he's smart, he would have a path. He'd always be seated second or third at every World Championships, right? Because he went to every ranking series event. It set him up nicely. He'd get like a fifth place finish at Worlds. He'd set him up nicely the next year. And the year that he went and lost to Musakayev in the finals, he had like the 45th, 43rd, and 42nd ranked guy before he got to Tavanyan from Albania, which was a good win, and then he got destroyed in the final. But I'll tell you what, last year, Sebastian Rivera, what he did and almost beating Kyuka, losing 8-6 to the eventual Olympic champion, and then coming back and beating Ochir, who has dominated every American he's wrestled. He's beaten Zane, he beat Yanni, he beat Nick Lee. For him to do that, he's a stud, and I give him all the credit in the world, and he is that guy. So I don't know what his training's been like. We haven't seen him since the last Olympics, but Sebastian Rivera is a dog, and he is a threat at wrestling anybody right now.
Yeah, quite a few big names to keep an eye on in this bracket, and hey, you can't hate on Sebastian for just knowing and playing the process better than everyone else. Hey, that's a rule.
No, not at all.
Play it, run it, baby. But all right, let's move on, Kevin. Let's talk about the 70-kilogram bracket, and this one could be fun, baby. It's PJ Duke, the Penn State Nittany Lion, the young buck in this bracket. What do you think? What's going to happen here? Kevin, tell us about this.
Oof. Now, just so everybody knows, because they're going to think, oh, he's saying this. He's a Cornell fan. He's a Yanni guy. PJ Duke is one of my favorite wrestlers. He has been since I was watching him winning New York State titles as a seventh grader. I throw out PJ Duke content all the time. I love this kid. I was singing his praises 3 years ago. So he's the man. As everybody knows, he just won a U20 title. He's going to U23s. He's at seniors. He's a great kid. He is I think he is the most dynamic offensive wrestler from the neutral position I have ever seen in high school. I've never seen a kid do what he does. It's a feel for him. I mean, when you got a kid that is able to foot sweep guys, like foot sweeps Andonian, when he wrestled Henkel in the finals of Ironman, he foot sweeps him. When you're that good, when you're foot sweeping guys like that, when you're that good with your balance and everything, it's unbelievable. And this kid, he works hard. The one thing that makes me nervous is, and people forget, is that first match with Yanni, what happened. If I try and think, okay, if Yanni was in this bracket, what would I think? And if Yanni was in this bracket, we always know Yanni does so much better against the international than he does domestically.
Mm-hmm.
I would think Yanni would medal, though, but these aren't 2 out of 3s. These are one match. Duke can't have any of those, where he's feeling, he cannot, because it snowballs fast on you. But with that being said, second round, he has the defending world champion, right? And it seems to be a common theme with the United States as we look through these brackets. However, when you're looking at the way this kid wrestles, he is a strong guy. He's a manly man. But Duke is a manly man, even though he's just turned 19 years old.
Crazy.
I don't know if this guy's going to be able to just power through Duke like he's used to powering through people. He doesn't have the best technique, but he's used to just powering through people. He is a quantity shooter. He shoots an awful lot. He likes shooting off of an inside tie or open space. And he also is a little funky, but I kind of like the way Duke matches up against him, because he can match his strength. And if they get into like a funk scramble, when have you seen anybody throw Duke on his back? When have you seen it? I don't recall him
No.
getting into an upper body situation and someone throwing on his back. I saw him put Yanni on his back and pin him, who has wrestled over 1,000 matches and has never been pinned in his life until then. So I mean,
ridiculous.
PJ, if PJ
Absolutely.
Duke's in a tie-up like that, he more times than none is going to win the battle. I'm really curious. I hope that he just gets his head in the game for the first match. He should blow through Chen.
And
that second
that
match,
might be a
though,
good thing. That might be perfect for him. He needs that one match to get under his belt, get comfortable. Because Kevin, I think he is pretty widely regarded as what I would say like the biggest up and coming phenom in wrestling. Right, pure talent,
absolutely.
pure phenom. I think he has a chance to go undefeated in college and match Cael Sanderson. But at some point, Kevin, what he said, he's 19 years old.
He just turned 19. Yep.
At some point, dude, even PJ Duke, the moment might get too big. Something's, you know what I mean? Is this the moment that is slightly too big for him? And it's overseas,
it's true. I mean,
and he's a young kid, and we've seen nothing but, I'm rooting. PJ Duke is probably one of, if not my favorite, up and coming wrestler to watch. But
he's awesome.
If I was a
Such
betting
nice
man,
kid,
I would
too.
bet against him because it's the hype, it's
Yeah.
the overhype, and you're gonna see at some point it has to reflect his age. I mean, the kid's unbelievably mature as well, but which as a testament to him. But at some point, it's maybe I'm wrong, but this has got to be PJ Duke, one of the most intriguing wrestlers to watch in these World Championships to me.
Absolutely. And Zach, I got to say this before I jump around real quick. I feel like such an idiot. I'm talking about Austin Gomez, like last bracket. It's just embedded in my head, 65 kilograms. He's 70 kilograms. So that was so stupid. It was probably the dumbest thing I've said in a while. But back to Duke, because I was thinking, I had this vision, because I'm looking through, I'm like, man, why can't I see him in the bracket? Because I was thinking about the Duke Gomez possible matchup, right? And I got psyched. And for some reason, I was thinking Woods. I got all discombobulated. But here's the thing with PJ Duke, Zach. I've noticed that now that this kid does not lose often at all, right? When he's in these tight matches, when he's in this Melvin Miller final, right, where he's expected to win and the lights are on, right? And when he is in when he's wrestling at U20s and he's in the semifinals and the finals against guys that if he was in the practice room with them, he would tear these guys apart, tear them apart. I noticed he tightens up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Now, it might be the case that he was expected to go in and win that U20 gold medal. He was expected to go in and destroy Melvin Miller. We saw it against that first match in Yanni, and I think after he got teched, he went, you know what? There's nothing I can do to look worse than that one. And then he's down 9-2, and he let it rip, man. So he's going up against the world champion, second round. There's nobody except for PJ Duke himself,
and
the Penn State coaches, and JD, and me, that thinks that he's going to win this match. So you know what? Maybe he just lets it go, man.
Maybe he goes in with that mentality. But maybe we did see a little bit of those nerves in that first match against Yanni. But maybe that really could end up benefiting him at these Worlds, having that experience under his belt, against someone of Yanni's caliber.
I think so, man. And I want him to win so bad because I want to see the Duke Austin Gomez match, man. I want to see it so bad because I'm telling you what, for those that don't know, I'm not a huge Austin. It's going to be I'm not a huge Austin Gomez fan, right? And because he beat Yanni into the way he acted after he beat Yanni there, which you'd have to be in Ithaca to see what happened. But I think Duke is going to toss Gomez on his head if he wrestles him. I really do. And
wow,
I'm telling you. Now, if Duke loses to the defending world champion, he's going to need that guy to beat Gomez to get dragged back in,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of a scary thing. Also, on that side of the bracket, you got O'Cheer, right? O'Cheer has a hit list a mile long of Americans. He's really tough. He's the one that Sebastian Rivera beat for the bronze medal at the Olympics. They had that amazing, like 10-9 match. It was unbelievable. But O'Cheer beat, Zane Rutherford at the Last Chance Open. He beat Yanni 10-3 at the World Cup. He threw Nick Lee around like a rag doll. He's very, very good. He's up at 70. He's usually 65 guy. So
Nick
that
Lee, you're saying that is
yeah.
wild.
Oh, it was crazy. You got to check out the match sometime. It was just nuts. It was not good. But then on top, you also have Japan, who is really, really tough. And then you got Musakayev, and this is the match that I'm dying to see first round. Dudayev and Musakayev. All right, you got two guys from Dagestan who neither are wrestling for Russia. And these guys put on a show for that bronze medal match in Paris.
Yep.
Dudayev ended up winning 13-12, and man was this. And prior to that, he had never beaten Musakayev. Musakayev teched him and beat him like 10-0, 6-0. This match is going to be awesome. I think Musakayev is having a down year, but that doesn't mean anything. Musakayev is the most gifted athlete I've ever seen on a wrestling mat. Yes, he has endurance issues, we all know, but the speed, agility, and strength of him is just ungodly. So he's capable of doing, knocking off anybody. And then we also got the little Yazdani from Iran in the top half. So you got little Yazdani from Iran. You got Shannon Hanna wrestling for the Bahamas. Your boy Shannon Hanna there.
Let's go, baby.
Dog of the year. Yeah, he's there. And then you got Dudayev, Musakayev, and then Japan. It's 70 is loaded, man.
I was gonna say
if Duke can come away with a medal, man, I'll tell you what. Wow.
That would be incredible. I'll say this: I do not expect Duke to come home with a medal. However, man, if there is a dog that I want to send into the fight for America, man, it's got to be PJ Duke, dude. If it's someone who could pull it off at the young age of 19 years old, it might be PJ Duke. So, I'm really looking forward to him almost as much as, if not more so than anyone else in these world championships. But Kevin, I got a couple questions here in the comments that I want to throw at you before we kind of move on here. So the first one here from Wayne Beaver. Welcome back to the show, Wayne Beaver. Wayne. Says, what should be the over-under gold medal count for the U.S.?
I think that's a really good question. As we all know, we did not win a gold last year in the Olympics for the first time since like the 50s. I think that Spencer Lee is almost a shoo-in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Trent Hidley can win a gold medal. I don't think it's the toughest weight class. I think he's got the potential to win a gold medal. I think Zahid Valencia, we're just starting to touch the potential of Zahid Valencia now that he's really all in on wrestling. And and he's got David Taylor there. And I'll tell you what, if you guys haven't seen it, there's an interview that Zahid does with the Quad Pod guy there, and I forget the name of the podcast, but it's one of the best interviews I've seen. And he just is really raw, honest about everything, and it was really interesting. And his head is in it, man. And he beat Kyle Dake 3 times in a row. All right. And I know Kyle Dake may not be the biggest 86 kilogram guy, but he beat Kyle Dake 3 times in a row. All right. And I didn't think any of the matches were that. I know the score, they were close in score, but I thought he just, there was never a threat of losing, I didn't think. So I think that Zahid could win a gold. Wyatt, he could, of course he could.
All right, Kevin, it's good.
I would say two.
Give me a number. Oh,
I'm sorry, man. 2. No, you know what? I hate to say it.
1.5. 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5, man. Sorry. I was trying to think in my head because I honestly never thought about it. It's a good question.
We got a lot. Yeah, we haven't gotten to those weight classes yet. All right, one more real quick. Another one from Wayne Beaver. Duke Forest Blaze, who ends up with the least college losses? Whew.
I think Duke, because he's not in the same. Those other two might be in the same weight class with each other.
Fair point. Okay. All right.
And yeah.
Okay, that's a
good
answer.
And I think, yeah, you like that, nice and short? I forget that I'm on a podcast sometimes, and I just start thinking out loud. And you got to cut me off, man. You got to cut me off.
I even got a little lost there, and I said, "Whoa, we're live, dude. Let's focus." But all right, let's move on, folks. Let's talk about the 74 kilogram bracket. Kevin, tell us about this one.
This kind of sucks. I think that David Carr is one of the 4, if not 3 best wrestlers at the weight class. And he's got just a really shitty draw. The worst situation a guy can have is where you got the 2 best guys in the bracket, assuming they're, better than you, on the same side as you. And he's in a position where he's going to have Ramazanov like second round, and then you got Sidakov up there. Now Ramazanov beat Sidakov at Euros, but Sidakov has never entered a world or Olympic championship and not come home with a gold medal ever. So Sidakov would be my pick, and that's not good for David Carr because David Carr loses to Ramazanov, and then Ramazanov loses to Sidakov.
Ooh.
David Carr's out. And this just sucks. This sucks bad because David Carr's wrestling so beautifully. I thought, you know what, if he matches up against Japan again, I like him to beat Japan this time. But he's going to have to beat one of those 2 guys to get a bronze medal or to get any medal. He's going to have to beat one of those 2. There's no way around it. There literally is no way around it. He has to beat Ramazanov, and then that means he would, assuming if he loses to Sidakov, then he'd be back wrestling for bronze. Ramazanov will be gone. If he loses to Ramazanov, he's got to hope that Ramazanov beats Sidakov, and then he's going to have to wrestle Sidakov in the repechage or, third for bronze. So he's got to beat one of those guys to medal. It sucks. It's a bad situation.
Yeah, I'll zoom in there a little bit so the fans can see. But, yeah, that's a tough path and unfortunate for David Carr, who is looking great. Was he was in RAF, wasn't he? Maybe.
No,
he wasn't. But, yeah, that's David Carr. I mean, hey, but you never know. Go in there, and we'll see what he can do. But any other final thoughts on 74 before we move on to 79, Kevin?
No. We'll talk about, the way they see things a little later, but no.
Yep.
We can move on.
Moving on, folks. Let's talk about 79 kilograms, and look who it is. Oh, my goodness. Levi Freight Train Haynes, baby. Let's go. Kevin, what are his chances here?
I don't really particularly like his chances. I'm sorry. Is your hometown guy, right?
Yeah, man.
Listen, Levi Haynes is tough as nails, man. But to me, it was discouraging when he lost to Greece at whatever. I say the nation. We all know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to sit here and try and pronounce some of these names, and so everybody can laugh at me. He lost to Greece. Now, the Greece guy is tough. He's had a couple tight matches with Dake, but that Greece guy, he is like a 5th, maybe a bronze medal guy. You got to beat that guy if you're going to even have a chance to medal, right? Levi is going to have he's going to have the favorite to win the whole thing. Second round, I believe.
Second round.
Hold on. Yep. Second round. So now the good thing again is if he loses, he's going to get dragged back in, right?
Yep.
So that's one way to look at it. He's gonna get dragged back in if he loses. So
or he beats him, and he's a favorite.
Yeah.
Going forward. Bang.
Listen, Levi Haynes is so strong, man, and he's got one of the best defenses in the world. So I'm not saying, when I'm talking like this, I'm not saying it's impossible for Levi Haynes to beat this guy. Of course, it's not impossible. I'm just saying he's got an uphill battle.
No, I get it. I get a little defensive Okay,
No,
for the
I'm
hometown
sorry.
guy. But go ahead.
No, hey man, I'm not gonna ever say anything bad about Levi. He's he's a badass, you know. There's a lot of guys that are there's not a lot of like, you know, Sidikoffs or whatever in this weight class, Spencer Lee's, but there's a lot of guys right in that tier that Levi Haynes is in. He's going to be in a lot of dogfight matches,
Mm.
and it should be fun. But he's got some of the best coaches in the world, really. So if anybody can gear him up, it's them. So we'll see.
Yeah, some dogs in this bracket, folks, but we got a dog representing America and Levi Haynes. But let's move on. Let's talk about the 86-kilogram bracket. Kevin, you mentioned earlier Valencia. This is the best Valencia we've ever seen, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is, and I bet you he's gotten a lot better since we even saw him at Final X, you know. I think that David Taylor is taking a keen interest on making Zahid better, you know, having that personal connection where he wrestled Taylor in the best 2 out of 3 to go to Worlds this past year, right? And then he got Zahid to go here. I think it's like, I mean, I don't know this for sure, but it seems like maybe he's his little project, you know. And now this is interesting because, you know, Gazimpur from Iran, who is, I don't know how the hell this guy made 86 kilograms. He is a freaking monster. That's who David beat in Worlds last year, though, for the bronze medal. And Gazimpur had, if you remember, Sajalayev. He had him beat, man. He had him beat, and he got taken down at the end there. It was crazy. But Gazimpur is a lot of people's pick to win the weight. We also got the Kadi, the guy that wrestled Dake and teched him at the 2020 Olympics.
Yep.
He moved up to 86, and a lot of people kind of wrote him off. But man, since he's moved up, he has just been outstanding. Yeah, I think that I'm just going to say it. Zahid Valencia is going to win the World Championships.
Whoa, puts us at 2.
I'm picking him to world.
That puts us at 2. That's the over. Bet the over, folks. In Vegas for American gold medals.
I think that David Taylor is going to just coach him up, and Zahid has that length. And if you're not used to wrestling a guy like Zahid, he's got to be a strange feel.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he has what it takes to be Gazimpur. We've never seen Zahid in shape, and Zahid's in shape right now. And I think he can beat Gazimpur.
And the best system that he's ever been, the best culture and environment, right? That Cowboy, what's happening out there in Oklahoma State is incredible. They're changing the sport out there, and Valencia is right in the middle of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that he can do it. I really like his matchup with Kadi. I really think that, and by the way, I think that's going to be one of if that is a world championship final, I think that might be one of the most entertaining finals. Now, let's just hope that's a lot of matches, right? He would have to win 1, 2, 3, 4. He's gets 5 matches. He better be in real good shape. Yeah, he better be in real good shape. But I like him, man. I love watching him wrestle. He's one of my favorite guys to watch wrestle. So let's go Zahid.
Big Valencia fan. Everyone else, stick with us here. A couple more brackets, and then we're going to be releasing the Collegiate Wrestling dual pools. Unbelievable. I don't know how Kevin got a hold of him, but he did. But we're moving on before that. Let's talk about 92 kilograms here. And you talked about him earlier also, Trent Hidlay. Either way, he's a dog. And are you laying money on him to win?
As long as he's offensive, right? I'm hoping that we don't see the Hidlay that, you know, is trying to win these 3-2, 2-1 matches. If he lets it loose, he can definitely win this. He's beaten the best in the bracket already. I believe the one guy got injured against him, though, but still, he's beaten the best in the bracket. And 92 is always a little bit of a weaker weight class. You know, 86 always loaded, 97 always loaded, 92 is kind of, you know, most of the dogs are up or down because it's not an Olympic weight. But when you got Ben Honus from Cornell is the 2 seed for Italy. And I know that there's some wacky seeds here, but still, how did he get the 2 seed? That's a weight class that Hidley can win. This is a weight class that Hidley can win. He's going to have uh, he's going to have a really tough semifinal. Um, and I think that he's a silver. He's a bronze floor, gold ceiling.
Ooh,
I'll
like
go
that.
with yeah, I think he's going to go gold. Let's go gold.
You're going 3 golds for America.
I'm
I
going
love
nuts,
it, dude.
man.
I was gonna say
I'm going
similar
nuts.
to Valencia. Is this the best version of Hidley that we've seen? And it is interesting, and if you think about when some of these wrestlers peak versus others, I'd mentioned earlier, is this the best Jax Force version we'll see? Because we've seen wrestlers peak earlier, and now we're seeing some of these guys, Hidley, Valencia, peaking a little later.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that you got to realize something too. Josh Barr is a world-class wrestler, and he kind of shut him down in Final X. Josh Barr is no joke, man.
Oh yeah.
Um, and especially after having, he was no joke before he came into this year at Penn State, and then he had the full year there. So yeah, he definitely Hidley's got the potential to win it. You do have the a gold medalist there in the weight that's I believe he's on the other side. Yeah, he's on the bottom. Yeah, from Kazakhstan there. He's on the bottom, so Ben Honus can have him.
Yeah. Get her stay on the other side. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Hey, the Quad Pod, Roy and Ralph said you have some bold takes, Kevin. They have 2 comments. Your last 2
Yeah, I don't
predictions. I love it.
Yeah, man, and I actually made predictions on X before I saw the brackets, and I had 1 gold medal, and now I got 3. So a lot of it's draw dependent.
We still got 2 weight classes left. One of them being Captain America.
I'm fired up.
Oh my goodness, dude, we're fired up here, folks. But before Captain America, let's talk about 97 kilograms, Kyle Snyder. And I mean, he gets that first round bye, but Kevin, I guess he's not the favorite in this weight.
No, I mean, Tazadinov is the favorite, and it's a shame that we're not going to see Sidakov and Tazadinov because that match was going to be monumental. Tazadinov beat him. I mean, you're looking at, like legendary matchup where Sadulayev might be, when said and done, one of the best to ever do it. He's definitely one of the best to ever do it. Maybe the best to ever do it. But Tazadinov, he keeps going like he is. He could be there too. And I think Kyle Snyder I'm shocked if he doesn't make the final. I really am. I know that he's lost to Japan before, but I don't see him losing to Japan again. And I just think that he's going to make the final and Tazadinov is going to beat up on him. It's just a really bad style matchup for him. Tazadinov's so much longer than Snyder and so much more leverage. And what I saw the first match, unless, the Penn State coaches can get some kind of something working for him, I don't see how he's going to beat him. But still, I like him getting a silver medal where prior, a week ago, if you would have asked me, I would have said 5th place, because he's been losing to Iran quite a bit as a peer or whatever. But he's on the other side. But he's going to have to beat Japan, Yoshida, who he's lost to. But that would be a semifinal match. So yeah, I like Snyder to get a silver.
All right, Snyder to get a silver. I don't know. Can I just say, I hope and I think we may get the most focused Kyle Snyder that we've ever gotten, right? Given recent events.
Yeah.
At least I hope so. All right, let's move on. 125. Then we're going to be talking about the collegiate wrestling duels. We got pools come and release. But before that, it is Captain America, Wyatt Hendrickson at the 125 kilogram bracket. Kevin, tell us about it.
Man, if there's somebody that I just don't really have a clue how they're going to do, it's Wyatt. And this weight can be so just up and down, Mason Paris he got a bronze medal one year. Then he went one year and he got beat by guys that I never would have thought would beat him. And Wyatt is a quantity shooter. He shoots an awful lot, right? But sometimes that gets him in trouble. I think he's going to be in better shape than anybody. I know he's going to be in better shape than anybody in the bracket. Zare is the dude, right? Zare's the
Yep.
dude. He's not the most exciting guy to watch, but he's very difficult to score on. But if anybody can do it, Wyatt can do it. Now they're on the same side of the bracket,
Oof.
which is a bummer. But at the
Brutal.
same time, man, maybe that sometimes I'm like maybe that works
Get
in
him
the favor.
fresher.
It's
Yeah,
not the
get him
final.
fresher.
Get him, yeah. But believe me, Zare knows who Hendrickson is. It's not as if he's going to overlook him. But I think I really like Wyatt to get a bronze in this. I don't think he's there yet to beat Zare. I like the fact that Paris is coming back, and I want Wyatt and Paris to challenge each other, make each other better.
Yeah.
It's going to only make our rep better. Whoever wins out of that's going to make our rep better, And Iran is just, I mean, Iran's probably got the second best wrestler in the world too at this weight. The young guy there, but word is he might transfer somewhere else. We'll see, but I like him to I like to get a bronze. Yeah, transfer. We got the transfer portal working all over the world. Transfer countries.
Yeah.
If your dog is a different, from a different place, you can go there now. The rules are pretty open. But I like Wyatt to get a bronze. I have faith in him, man. How can you not have faith in this guy?
I was gonna say, man, if you doubted him before, and it sounds like a lot of doubting going on. Me too. I don't think he has a chance, right? Not against Zahar, but who knows? Wyatt Hendrickson has done some incredible things. Most recently, upsetting Gable Stevenson. So if there's someone who can do it, and wouldn't that be fun? But you're saying a bronze,
the guy,
and that's a solid showing.
And he, don't get me wrong, he can beat Zare. He's gonna have to push the pace. It's funny too when I see this a lot. Americans wrestling, right? And Americans are always in shape, right? Mainly because of folk style. And they're pushing the pace, and I see the foreigners, they're almost annoyed. They're almost annoyed at us, like why? Calm down. Why are you going so, relax? It's so funny, But Wyatt's going to have to, one of 6 guys to ever beat 2 NCAA champs on his way to an NCAA title in the tournament. So
yeah,
Wyatt can get it done, but I like him for bronze.
Yeah, and you mentioned formerly getting excited about Mason Paris. He was trying out for some NFL teams. He's coming back. Quad pod in the comments. 2028 LA Olympics. What do we got? Wyatt, Kirk, Mason, Gable. Is AJ? Would AJ be in that? No, I guess AJ. The Ferraris don't do freestyle, but
Gable's going to be playing flag football or breakdancing,
or he's fighting. I think
he's not going to be wrestling.
Now. He's fighting now, folks.
He's got a lot of sports left to do.
He does have
any sport, but except for the one he's the best at.
The wrestling. Oh, I know. It is kind of annoying, but listen, Kevin, I did see a clip of Gable in the fighting room training. His hands look fast. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on Gable in the UFC.
He got some. If that football thing did anything for him, he was able to put on some good weight. And I saw some kicks in that. I think I saw what you saw. I saw some kicks coming out of him too.
Oh yeah, he looked
Gable.
He got quick. I thought, oh my god.
Can you imagine that guy kicking you? Can you imagine fighting a guy like Gable's size and he's kicking? I'd be like, what the hell?
Get away from me, man. But all right, folks, this is all starting. That's the World Championships. It's starting tomorrow morning, early, 4:30 Eastern time, all weekend long and more. But Kevin, you ready to move on? You got a chance to get a hold of these collegiate pools. So let's do the release. Let's do the release. You want to talk about it? Bang! There it is on the screen.
Yeah.
I guess, is this official, Kevin?
It's not official, but I figured it out.
Official. It's unofficially official, folks.
It's going to be that. These are going to be the pools.
These are going to be the pools.
Group 1 might be called Group 3. Group 2 might be called Group 1. But these are the groups, the teams in the group. You got Penn State, Stanford, and North Dakota State will be in one. And real quick, this is not, because everyone gets confused, this is not the National Dual Invitational that's at Oklahoma State. This is the Journeyman Collegiate Duels that have been going on every year around the holidays. Penn State's been in a few times. All these teams have been in it, but usually it's just 6 teams. It's 2 groups of 3. They've expanded it to 3 groups of 3. And what happens is these 3 teams will do round robins against each other. So Penn State will wrestle Stanford, and then they'll wrestle North Dakota State, and then Stanford will wrestle North Dakota State. Same with the other 2 groups, Cornell, Illinois, and Little Rock in one, and then Ohio State, Iowa State, and Lehigh. What a freaking woo! They loaded that one. And then what happens is day 2, you're going to put the winners of the 3 pools in a pool, and then the teams that went 1-1 will go in one, and then teams that go 0-2 go in the next one. So how did I figure this out? Well, what I did is they don't put same conference teams in the same pools. They do not do it. Okay, so I took Penn State, Illinois, and Ohio State, and I separated them. Then a couple of the teams screwed up, and they put on their schedule, instead of putting journeyman duels, Cornell put Little Rock, and then Little Rock put Illinois. So then they switched it. They put back journeyman duels, but they put the duel on there by accident. Yeah. So
investigative reporter Cornell Kevin over here, folks. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got problems, man. But Cornell. So then I'm like, boom, Cornell, Illinois, and Little Rock. That's a pool, right? So then I'm like, all right, now what? I'm like, Penn State and Lehigh are wrestling each other in a duel, so it's unlikely that they'll be in there. And then Ohio State and North Dakota State are both in the Big 12, so I separated them. And then I'm thinking, all right, then this is what I came up with, but then the key happened. I looked, and Iowa State accidentally put on their schedule Lehigh, and then I knew. Then they switched it back to journeyman duels. Then I knew that Ohio State, Iowa State, and Lehigh were in a bracket. Now, I think this is ridiculous. I think that you should split up that Ohio State, Iowa State, and Lehigh pool, don't you? I mean, 4, 6, and 7. Why are they in the same pool? It's ridiculous.
Well, there's some rules that you can't violate, apparently, from your research. My question is, dude, do you check those team schedules every day? Kevin, that's incredible.
No.
Also, my only questionable was, you did all that work, man. That's a mean-looking graphic. My only thing, you chose purple and pink as the color background colors. Whoa.
Oh, come on. Are we past that now? Are we not adults? It's funny because we were at the store the other day, and Liam wanted to pick out this pink thing, and I was kind of like, no. And my wife's like, seriously, let him get it if he wants it. I was like, no, Liam, check this one out, man.
No, I love it. I love it, man. And seriously, that is some legit research. And I mean, would I like to see those 3 teams broken up? Ohio State, Iowa State, and Lehigh? I mean, probably not, because ultimately the top 3 finishers are going to face each other as well, right?
Right. And also, just so you know, Iowa State's schedule shows I knew that they had a deal with Stanford where they're going to do a 1-1, like football teams do, like we'll come to your place, you come to ours. And the first one was last year. So I looked at the schedule. Iowa State does have North Dakota State and Stanford on their schedule, North Dakota State in their conference. So that was another thing, is I knew Iowa State was going to be separate from Stanford and North Dakota State, because they face them in a week and a half after this. They face one team, and then 2 days later they face the other team. So looking at this, man, the thing that I don't like, for those that don't know, Cornell is going to be without half their team for the first semester. 125 through 157, their starters are not going to be there. However, last year, Chris Foca and Julian Ramirez did the same exact thing. And it's not that they have to wait for the second semester to start, it's that they have to wait for the first semester to end. And they came back against NC State in a duel that was December 20th. This is December 20th and 21st. So Greg Diakomahalis, Unger, Vince Cornella, Ethan Fernandez, which I don't think he's going to start anyway. I think Jackson Joy will. And then Meyer Shapiro are all going to be back for this event.
Wow.
At least they can be back for it. Because the first semester's over. So, but man, I don't know who's going to win that third pool. It's going to, Lehigh is tougher than people think, and Iowa State too. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's going to be fun, man. And I hope Cornell is full strength. I'd love to see Shapiro back. You have a strong feeling that Shapiro beats Kazak the next time they wrestle. I don't know if you want to talk
I do,
about
and I'm
that
sure I'll get a bunch.
And you know what?
Thanks a lot, dude.
What a great lead in to the next graphic that you put a lot of work into. Speaking of Kazak, because we want to talk about some of these wrestleback warriors.
Yeah.
Let's put the graphic up. Kevin, you went and did some leg work back to 1920. You went that far back, 1920, right?
Yep, 1928. Yep.
Back to 1925. And, look at this. Talk about it, Kevin. Incredible.
Yeah. So we knew. I did my own research on this, but Jason Bryant had it before me. I just wasn't aware. This was before I knew about the guide that he does, which is awesome. If you haven't checked that out, you got to come NCAA's. He sells that guide, and it's amazing.
That's unbelievable.
He has this in there, and but what he did is he started it from when the rules changed for wrestlebacks, when it wasn't follow the leader, which was in like 96. Before 96, it was if you lost to a guy, that guy had to win or you wouldn't be brought back in. He just had to win one match, but if he didn't win that one match, you wouldn't be brought back in. So it was less matches for a wrestleback warrior. I call them wrestleback warriors because I think backside warrior just sounds really weird. I don't know.
I agree. Good call.
So I went back, and now this is the list I came up with. Now I know for a fact I've posted this, and it blew up on X. So many comments, and I knew I was going to get. Didn't David Carr do it in 2022? Didn't Mitch McGee from Minnesota do it in 2021? All those guys that they're talking about won the first match, and then they lost in the second round and came back and got it. So I have a whole list of almost guys too. So all these wrestlers that you see up there, they lost their first match at NCAA's, and then they won every match after to get third place. Now, the number of matches are different, however, because now Myron Shapiro is not Meyer Shapiro. Okay, that's Myron Shapiro from Toledo, just so we know.
It's not his dad?
No, it's not. No relation. And he might even pronounce it Shapiro instead of Shapiro. I don't even know that for a fact. I haven't gotten to that point yet. Now, he did not have to wrestle 7 matches. John Loomis in 84 did not have to wrestle 7 matches, nor did Tom Miller. John Lange was the first guy that had to actually win 7 matches to get third place. And Larry Quizzle, the late Larry Quizzle, rest in peace, had to win 8 matches. He was in a pigtail, man. He was in a pigtail.
What a dog.
He had to win 8 matches. And it gets even crazier, Zach. Larry Quizzle, that was his junior year, right? He lost first round. He had to win 8 matches to get third. He makes NCAA's his senior year. He makes it to the finals. In the semi, he beats TJ Williams. He gave TJ Williams from Iowa his only loss ever. He beat him in overtime. Wow. And then he ends up losing the final. So Larry Quizzle actually won 12 NCAA matches in a row without winning an NCAA title. How crazy is that?
That is a crazy stat. I mean, outside of your multi-champions, is there a wrestler who, I'm sure there's not been a wrestler who's never won a championship and won that many matches consecutively. That's crazy.
No way. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. I think some other interesting things is J.D. Bergman from Ohio State, 2004. He actually was a walk-on to the football team. He was a punter, but he ended up going there for doing a season with them and ended up not. This was his freshman year, 2004. He was unseeded. He lost first round, and then he came all the way back and took third. He enjoyed that so much that his junior year, he decided to go and try and do the same exact thing, losing first round, made it all the way to the 3rd and 4th place match before losing. He nearly was a 2-time wrestleback warrior. And then his senior year, he ended up making the finals and getting second. But that was wild. AJ Shep from Edinburgh. Interesting thing about him is he actually won the most pins in the least amount of time. On his way back to third, he got 4 pins. And Edinburgh that year took third as a team. It was their only ever NCAA team trophy. And AJ got 21 team points, which is crazy for a third place wrestler to score 21 points. He outscored every single runner up that year and even one champion in team points.
Wow.
And that was crucial for them getting that team trophy. And he won his first consolation match. He only won 2-1. And then he started getting rolling. Let's see here.
Edinburgh, who I saw comment, Bassett, was it checking out Edinburgh? I don't know. Was that true?
What?
Really? I don't know. I saw it in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. The Edinburgh
that would be crazy.
Yeah. Sorry, I just totally threw you off, Kevin.
Oh, no, we're good, dude. We're good. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I had a lot of fun answering the comments too, because it was cool because people are double checking me, right? They're like, what about this guy? What about this guy? And so I had to go through and do the research and make sure that, that I was correct in what I'm doing. And just so everybody knows, the list of guys that were they're very close to doing this, but they didn't quite get it done, just so to save people from, getting all, what about this guy? What about this guy? David Carr was close, didn't get it done. Mitch McGee, close, didn't get it done. Guys that won second round. We also had, let's see here, real quick. Sorry. Real quick here. I got it right. Bear with me for 1 second.
And here's the thing about
these
WrestleBack Warriors.
Oh,
go ahead. Finish. Go ahead, Kevin.
No. Go, go ahead. Keep going.
So here's the thing, folks. If you don't know exactly what this means, man, put yourself in the shoes of these wrestlers. You go into these championships. Your hopes are at the ceiling, and then you go and you lose the first match. You're devastated. These wrestlers had the fortitude and the grit to wrestle back and win every single match after that. In a sense, there's more attrition, and there's something else even more so maybe to a WrestleBack warrior than even a national champion. But go ahead, Kevin.
I agree. So, no, that's okay. David Carr, 2022, he lost second round, but he still won 7 matches that year to get third. Patrick McGee, same thing. Emery Parker, who's on the list, almost did it again as well in 2019. He took a second round loss, ended up getting 5th. People say Nick Lee all the time, but Nick Lee was a first round loss, and then he took 5th. Here's one I forgot to mention. Cam Tassari from Ohio State. Now check this out. In 2012, Donnie Vincent, who is the Buffalo head coach now, and the last guy to beat Kyle Dake in a folk style match from Binghamton, he wrestled back all the way to the third place match, as you see, he's on the list there. And he wrestled Cam Tassari from Ohio State, who also lost first round and made it all the way back to the third and fourth place match. So 2 of those dudes were wrestling and
wow.
For that third place match, and they both had to win 6 matches to get to that match. And the final score was 12-10, Donnie Vincent. It was an awesome match.
Wow.
So that was wild. Kyle Blevins from App State nearly did it. Zach Bailey, Oklahoma. Jimmy Kennedy was close. And then Matt Stolpinski from Navy was close. Eric Volker was close. And Lenny Bernstein was very close. And last thing I'll say is Myron Shapiro had to beat, in the Constellations, had to beat defending national champion Jack Spates, who we know, who was the Cornell coach before Rob Cole and then was the Oklahoma coach for quite some time. He beat Spates in the wrestlebacks. And then another interesting thing, John Loomis, Cal State Bakersfield, that is when they were Division II. So him and Ed Stevens were Division II guys, and Ed Stevens would always beat Loomis. But that was back when Division II and Division III could wrestle in the national tournament. So in 83 and 84, Ed Stevens won that weight in Division II, and John Loomis got second and third. They both went to NCAAs. Ed Stevens got 8th place both years, but John Loomis didn't place the one year, and then he got third in this bracket. So it's pretty wild. And he had to beat a guy from College of New Jersey, Division III, on the way back. It's pretty wild looking at all the things. I really took a deep dive in there, but what there was a few different
impressive research, Kevin. How Myron Shapiro is not in any way related to Meyer Shapiro blows my mind.
It almost pisses you off, doesn't it?
That's unbelievable.
Like it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it was pretty wild watching film on these guys and seeing, what they do. And they all have unique stories on how they got there and what they had to do. And it was a really cool research project I did, and I enjoyed it. And thanks for everybody that commented. Thank you.
More than these wrestlers. So I'm sure that they
absolutely,
appreciate you doing this work. And, ironically enough, Austin, in the comments, we got reports coming in. There was a pic of Bo Bassett on his ex at Edinburgh. And interestingly enough, another Austin says it was with AJ Shoup. What? No way.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
Dude, I'll tell you what, man, that's a guy that I didn't watch enough of back in that guy on top was just an animal. And man, I can see why he's a good coach, because he is tough, man. He is a tough dude. When he got third too, he had to beat Dardanus, who was the number 1 seed. He had to beat him for third and fourth.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that.
Well done, Kevin. I got some, we're kind of going long here. I got some fast topics I want to throw at you here to kind of close out, and then I'll kind of update everyone. And then we'll save the Fuji stuff for next show. Kevin did some other Fuji's work, but folks, we're running long. We got wrestling happening in a couple hours. So Kevin, some big topics. It's been a while since BG's been back, and I'll address that at the very end, but other big things that have happened. Amity Lore's pregnant. Oh my goodness, Kevin, thoughts, instant reaction.
Good for her, man. They deserve it. That baby is going to be an absolute beast because of who both his parents are, or her parents are.
Yeah.
I just hope that it makes me wonder how much to put into what she originally said, why she wasn't doing it. And I wonder if she's going to get back in. And you know what? Whatever she wants to do, though, it's her life. And, congratulations.
Yeah, I'll say this. It's going to be interesting to see how her career evolves going forward, because coming firsthand, you as well, Kevin, after you have a kid, life kind of changes. But we'll see.
Absolutely.
Also talking about the future, Bo Nickal's got a fight coming up, and he just won an RAF against Cardenas. I picked Cardenas to win, and daggone it, if Cardenas would have won, I would have won the Wrestle Madness. I digress. Bo Nickal's got a fight coming up. Your instant thoughts, Kevin?
Hopefully he, for his sake, he wrestles more and stops this. I have to be on my feet with a guy. He needs to do what makes him great, and he's a great wrestler. Wrestle these guys.
Wrestle them. Okay. I think we need a big showing out of Bo. Bo's got to show up in a big way if he wants his UFC career to continue.
Agreed.
Moving on. RAF. Speaking of RAF 01, Kevin, what were your initial thoughts and takeaways from RAF?
I gotta say, man, I was pretty impressed. I knew it was going to be a good show, as far as the ambience and everything that was going on there and how they had it set up. I knew that was going to be good. The only thing I didn't like the cornball pushing and fake. That was kind of like just cheesy. They don't need that to make it have that entertainment factor. I think that it's cool as all these people are listing what they want their matches to be, and that's kind of cool, these matchups, right? I know I made a list, a bunch of people on Twitter made a list. I like the belt. I like what they did, It was entertaining. They don't need to put the old-timers on the cards. Get rid of them, get rid of the pushing, and it's good to go.
Yeah. No, Kevin, I agree. Production level was unbelievable. I mean, they're clearly building their business model off the UFC, and the production level, it looked great. You could say what you want about all that in the actual rest. I'm sorry to be the guy boring, but at the end of the day, my takeaway, it comes down to a business model. And if you really take a deep dive and look at the UFC never popped until they had big stars. UFC is based on big stars. That's largely how they go, up or down. Kind of similar to the NBA, as opposed to a business model like the NFL, which is you have stars, but that's not what you're based off of. Like NBA ratings tank when there's not a Michael Jordan or LeBron James in their prime. To me, that's like the UFC as well. RAF, I think they need to find someone who is that big star. And I think that, UFC found Conor McGregor and blew it up. And, for RAF to ultimately work, I don't know what the business model is, but it is going to come down to a business plan. And I think that business plan could be very highly dependent on just finding a superstar. But, okay, rapid fire.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kevin. Rebuttal that.
No. Listen, I agree with you. I don't know if it's obtainable what they're doing, how much they're supposedly paying these guys. I don't know if that's a possibility. But like you said, it's all about, I like how the fact that they had, the what's her face there, damn it, the female that's the fighter,
Holly Holm, right?
Whatever. Holly Holmes, thank you.
Yep.
The fact that they had her on there and she did so well, that's something that could get people interested because, there's the fighting fans that hate the wrestling fans and vice versa, or, some of them or karate. You start mixing stuff like that, that's getting fans in there that normally wouldn't be watching it. So I think maybe they could be onto something there. But they got to make money, man. You can't, eventually they're going to have to make money to get this sustainable.
No, I agree. At the end of the day, do I think it could work? Yes, I do. I think it does have a chance to work, which would be incredible for the sport. I think, there's multiple leagues here. We're going to talk about Claw. We've obviously talked a lot about Claw. Before we touch on them, though, I got to move on another rapid fire. This takedown. Have you heard of this takedown tournament? I see Caden Henschel.
Awesome.
That looks fun. So we got Claw, we got
That's
RAF,
great, man.
We got a takedown tournament. I think the takedown tournament could be something BEG could possibly host an event of. You don't need a lot of stuff for that, right? And it's fast.
Yeah.
It's engaging.
I loved it, man. I loved it.
I don't know, Kevin, sorry to interrupt you. You got any thoughts on that?
No,
before the next topic?
Yeah. It was wild. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's got like the Fight Club atmosphere. There are guys around the circle. They come tumbling over to you. The circle kind of changes shapes. It's so simple. Keep it simple, right? Takedowns, that's it. If you know nothing about wrestling, you can kind of tell what a takedown is, right? So I love it. It's got BEG's name all over it, man. That's something that I can totally see you putting together, Zach.
Yeah, it gave me some thoughts, and who knows? And, ultimately, dude, I hope all of them work. I hope RAF works. I hope Claw works. I hope the takedown tournament works. Clearly, wrestling is growing in America. People are identifying it. Business owners, smart people with money are identifying wrestling as a growing sport and growing opportunity in America. Now, before we do have our closing thoughts, we have a call in here. It's Ralph. So I want to give him a chance.
Oh,
here,
nice.
Ralph. And Ralph,
what's
welcome
up,
to the
guys?
show. First time caller, I believe.
What's
How you
going
doing?
on, Ralph? Yeah.
What's happening, guys? Great show.
Thank you.
How's it going, man?
Appreciate all
Love
the-
your show, by the way.
Yeah, right on, man. I'm getting pumped for tomorrow. For sure.
Oh, it's so
What are your
awesome.
thoughts? What are some of the maybe your biggest three things that you're looking forward to seeing at these World Championships?
The biggest thing, I guess, because we're such a young team, I think there's such a variance. I mean, the USA could end up with 4 to 7 medals, so I think it's really exciting to see how these, not necessarily young, but first timers perform. There's some tough draws out there, but I'm really looking at 28, right? I mean, I feel like, man, the Olympics, we didn't do well last time. Olympics are in our house, and like, man, who are the guys who are really going to like battle and compete, in 28, like who is whether it's like, there's guys that aren't there too, right? Like Blaze and everything, but I'm just super pumped to see what these guys got and then figure out what we have, and
100%.
I mean, the U22, man, the average age of a gold medalist in Tokyo was 23 years old. So all those guys who like rolled at U20s,
wow,
those are all guys who like could be there too. So that's what I'm most excited for, to see the improvement. I mean, Real Woods has grown in my mind like miles, since going to Cliff Keen. And so just to see the improvement and just get excited for this, but also the future, 28. So that's what I'm excited for.
That's interesting, and that's an angle that I have not even really thought about. We get stuck in the here and the now. We got to win now, but really, what really matters the most is the 2028 Olympics, because, dude, they're happening in our country, man. Is there a year that we need to represent more than in 2028. So I appreciate that perspective, and you're right. Like these youth, the youth, Jax Forrest, PJ Duke. How is this going to build up and lead to the 2028 Olympics? But Ralph, why don't you tell us a little bit about your podcast, man? Where are you from? What are you doing?
So my brother Roy and I started a podcast. We went to Philly together, and I was like, hey, man, he's out in Oakland. I'm like, hey, we're going to do a podcast after this. And, man, I was so tired every night. I gained all kinds of respect for those media guys, because we just crashed at the hotel and, like, did our thing. And then, but he's like, you really want to do a podcast? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So we both wrestled at OPRF in Illinois, and and Roy wrestled at Penn. So both super big wrestling fans, really enjoy the sport. And so decided, hey, there's and the coolest thing about it is just like a chance to like spend time with your brother. You get an hour every week with your bro, to hang out. Yeah. And like, he's out in California, man. That's probably the best part of it is like just collabing with him and, finding an excuse to like, hang out with family. So, but we have a blast. We have fun. We try to keep it light, and try to, just, we pick topics that we enjoy, right? That's the beauty of doing a podcast. You get to talk about what you want to talk about. So,
well, Ralph, you do it for fun now, and you do it with your brother. Now, speaking from experience myself, me and my dad, we 9 times out of 10, we have a lot of fun. But, there's that 1 time out of 10, you're like, dude, no, I don't like that. Right? Have you ever gotten in any arguments with you on a show or after a show or before?
So, we're my dad's a college professor. We're a family of debaters, right? There's no negativity in it, right? So he's got a doctorate in physics. He wrestled at Penn. He's smarter than me. He's younger than me. He's like, and
sounds exactly.
He's a better wrestler than me. So I'm the admin.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, though, man.
He rolls up. Go ahead.
I knew that it was going to be I've watched it. It's great. And I knew it was going to be good because Zach, Ralph would post on BG. He would always like post stuff that would catch my eye, like different angles or different topics or questions. And I was always like, I loved it because, I dive right into it. And when I heard that you were doing this, I'm like, it's going to be good. Just based on the stuff that you would post on the BG Facebook page, I knew that it was going to be good. And it's really, it's mellow. You guys have fun. And if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out.
Yeah. Ralph, tell everyone to go to check them out where they can find you at.
So we can quad our podcast on YouTube. So every week we stream live on Twitter and on YouTube. And so that's probably the easiest way. And I just finally did the legwork. So we can available on Spotify by next week. We've kind of been just trying bits and things like that. This is our beta season. So we've kind of decided that October 1st is like when we're actually go live. So last episode was 0.16, but the actual real episode 1
that's going to be
October 1st of October. So, and we'll be looking for guests, breaking down teams before the season. So Kevin, maybe we'll grab you for a little Cornell breakdown, grab a little low single. Awesome. It's a great thing. The podcast community is like, it's great. Everybody supports each other, takes care of each other. I really enjoy the wrestling community and, really a lot of camaraderie and fun,
Yeah, absolutely. And
Ralph, I agree, man.
We appreciate all
Willie
the
can get a little over the top.
You put out.
Yeah, Willie. Yeah, Willie can be nuts sometimes, man. But you're right, man. I just started working on X a lot, the Twitter, and I'm like, man, where have I been? The whole community is awesome, man. They're all great people, and everyone's positive with each other, and I'm glad to meet a lot of the people there, and to kind of collaborate with them. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, right. Super healthy community. So that's awesome. Everybody just picking each other up and helping out. So,
well,
very
Ralph,
cool.
Listen, we appreciate all the posts you make, and we really appreciate your call in, and you're more than welcome. We'd love to have you call in again in the future. Folks, the Quad R podcast, first episode coming in October. So look out for them.
Well, first official episode. We'll be on next week.
Yeah, but
right. We've done 16 episodes, so
they're beta right
It's
now.
like your grand opening, right? You're
That's right.
You're marketing for a grand opening.
Absolutely.
Good idea.
Ralph, it took me almost 3 years to figure out the audio. We were beta for 3 years over here, Ralph. So
oh yeah. So I
no,
I was a technical trainer and I did it online for 10 years. So
oh damn.
Wow. Okay, you know what you're doing.
So
then.
like I know that the worst thing in the world, the way I evaluate a podcast is if I can listen to it without touching the volume knob in my car once. Because some of them, like one guy's loud, one guy, you know how that goes, and it's just like, oh man.
You definitely did not listen to us in the first 2 to 3 years of our show. Then you couldn't have tolerated it. There's no way. But
people lose their minds too. People in the comments lose their minds.
No,
like,
I couldn't.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. Like, it's funny, man.
Oh,
but,
yeah. But I understand that value of audio. I mean, like when you do it professionally for a long time, you're like, I always before class was like, guys, how does it sound? And just dialed it in, and like, because like there's nothing worse than like sitting in front of listening to somebody for 8 hours and you can't understand, and the audio's bad.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
Get a headache. Real quick, Ralph. How many golds? Sure. How many golds?
Over under 1.5 gold medals. Or how many gold medals?
I'm solid on the 1.5. I mean, Spencer and Zari are huge favorites, but the other ones are tough. I mean, I would love to be wrong. I mean, that's 1.5 is fair because like half the time you're right, half the times you're wrong, right? And I mean, I think we'll all be happy if we come home with 2 golds. I think we'll be celebrating because I just don't see where the other one comes from. And certainly Trent, Zahid. I mean, there's plenty of guys out there who could do it. But the world's really good, and like, and I just, when you watch it, just remember this is about 28, let's,
Yeah,
like,
no, you're right. And hopefully we got the worlds in 27 too, hopefully. But you know what? We won the team U17 and U20 this year and last year. So the future's looking bright. So let's go.
For sure. Yeah, let's go. No cycling hat tonight, Wrestling Madness. This is my guest outfit.
I was going to say that. Wrestle Madness in the comments. We always appreciate them. Ralph, we appreciate your call in. We hope to have you again soon. And I'll leave you with this. If the over's under 1.5 gold medals for America, I am betting a house on the over, Ralph. Let's go, USA.
All right, let's make it happen, man. We are hours away. Let's do it.
Hours away, folks. That's Ralph. Check him out. Quad R podcast out now in the beta version, but the full version, season 1, coming October. Ralph, thanks for calling in, and you've been great.
Yeah, right on, man.
Thanks, Ralph.
Do it again soon.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
For everything
Thank you.
Thanks, Ralph.
Yeah, right on.
And folks, hey, that was fun. And we got the
Ralph's
world
cool.
starting here in just a couple hours. So I'm excited. We got incredible wrestling. Wrestling's back, baby. We're back. Wayne's going to be back starting this weekend. Oh, before I forget, I guess I should close out the show with this, folks. Is obviously we were kind of MIA for the past month or so, and but we're all good now. Whoops, I must say, within the past month, we found out Kelly has breast cancer. So obviously you can imagine we were going through a lot, figuring a lot of things out. But we're very positive now, and she had her first chemo treatment last week, and we're optimistically moving forward. We're going to beat this. We're going to beat it, and we're moving forward. But that's where we were. It was all on me, okay? My dad wanted to do shows. Kevin wanted to do shows, folks, but I was not in a mental space, honestly. But we're on a good path, and, everything's all good now. So I don't need any sympathy. We don't need any sympathy. I'm not asking for any of that. I just felt like I owed the fans a fair explanation as to why we've been MIA. So that's it, man. Kevin, I appreciate, man. I appreciate everything you do, man, and all the research you did for this show tonight. So,
no, thank you for giving me the platform to blabber about all this, and sure, I'm speaking for everybody that we wish the family the best, and the positive attitude is the number one way to be about it, and everything's going to be good. And I'm happy to hear that That's the attitude going forward, you know?
Yeah, man. So it's the only way you can do. You fight. You go in and you fight, dude. So that's what we're doing. And that's what America's doing starting in a couple hours, baby, in the World Championship. So BG's back. The Wizard in the house. Kevin. Unbelievable research tonight. Thank you for everything, man.
Thanks.
And, folks, thank you
My
for
pleasure.
watching. And we will be back soon. See ya.
Absolutely. Go USA.
Let's go USA.